Week 3. It's time to see who can take the heat and who's headed home. They've drilled hard on all the scuba basics. But this test will reveal who can survive the very worst of diving conditions and who can't. It's called the one-man competency test. And every airman knows this is the killer.
The most challenging thing would be one-man competency. They're pulling your regulator out of your mouth, tying knots behind your head with the hoses, and your job is to untie the knots and get your air source back.
The one-man test consists of a deficiency phase where their gear gets fouled while they're subsurface, and then they move into the air interruption phase where the regulator gets fouled. They have to work the problem behind their back, get the regulator breathed. That works up into a final ditch phase where they ditch their gear and then recover the regulator, and then the test is complete. It's a big build-up. You're really worried about it because you hear all the horror stories about it, and a lot of people struggle with it.
Honeycutt is first up. He descends 12 feet to the bottom. A safety diver stands by at all times in case of an emergency. Honeycutt must outlast whatever hell the instructors unleash on him until the test is over. Ascend prematurely or grab the safety diver's emergency regulator at any time as you fail. Even bracing your feet on the pool bottom is forbidden, since it's seen as a sign you're about to bolt to the surface. The exact length of the test is classified, but it's long enough to test the mettle of every man.
They surge you and just trash you around, basically use you like a basketball on the bottom of the pool.
In combat, these men will have to dive in extremely dangerous conditions. Instructors prepare them to handle the worst the ocean can deliver. The instructor disorients Honeycutt and yanks out his air source with increasing frequency. Each time the regulator becomes harder to recover, all while being violently surged and pummeled. Honeycutt must remain calm and think clearly, even though he has less and less oxygen to work with.
They're looking to get you hypoxic, and if you exhale at the wrong time, then they take the regulator, you're stuck for the next 20-30 seconds without getting a breath. The visual deprivation, the hypoxia that you receive, like it all builds up, and just staying calm under that water while you're getting thrashed around, definitely a pretty big shock. You just have that sense of feeling of, I need to breathe, calm down, go through the motions, trace your things right, you're going to get your air. You know, attention to detail is huge when diving. And if you don't have that attention to detail, someone can die.
Honeycutt is almost home free, but the test has one more ordeal in store. The instructor now secures his regulator so that it cannot be recovered. Only now is he authorized to ditch his gear and get to his air.
There is a unrecoverable knot that we're supposed to know and say, hey, this is unrecoverable. It's extremely tight compared to the other knots. It really feels like it ain't moving. You have to know exactly what you're doing. When you can't see it, it makes it extremely difficult. And then you just start ditching your tanks and getting your regulator to your mouth.
Honeycutt ditches his gear at the right moment and gets to his air source. He passes the test.
I figured that would be the make or break for me. I'm not known for a good breath hold. Pretty stoked. Yeah, a lot of good guys that have gotten to this point and not made it beyond. So to not be one of them is a good thing. Unfortunately for them, pretty stoked.